Welcome to Live Your Best Life Now. I'm Deneen Shoemaker. Happy Easter. It's what I want to chat with you about today. But first I want to ask, how are you? How is your soul? I mean, this whole COVID-19 thing is some crazy shit, isn't it? And I've admitted to you in the past that I have some real anxiety, underlying, I suppose, but some real anxiety around this thing. And why wouldn't I? Just going to adjust a couple things here that got a little goofed up because I've tried shooting this thing now approximately 17 times and it hasn't taken. So somebody doesn't want me to get this message out. But anyway, I digress. I mean, why wouldn't we all collectively have some anxiety right now? The whole world nearly is shut down. People are losing their jobs at unprecedented rates. Hopefully, they'll come back. And then there are others who are literally risking their lives in order to go to work because they are essential and we need them to keep the country going. And to them, I say, thank you so much. We couldn't do it without you. But I'm not positive that people can escape some anxiety at some level right now. Yet, it's Easter Sunday. And it's a holiday where Christians around the world celebrate what United Methodist pastor Adam Hamilton says is that the worst thing is never the last thing. But here we are in the midst of this pandemic, and things are seeming pretty bleak. I mean, if you live in a big city, you are most likely run over by COVID cases, and you have experienced the fear and the anxiety and more than anything else, the loss that this virus is bringing. Very up close and personal. If you live in a rural area, there's a good chance that you might only know a person here or there, and maybe it won't affect you. But as of today, what we know is that we have over 500,000 positive tests coming back. Not everyone is being tested that is sick. I kind of feel like for one rat that you see, there's 50 that you don't. But we know that we have over 500,000 cases that have tested positive. And we also know as of today that over 100,000, I believe it's nearly 110,000 people have lost their lives from this. So it's very rampant. And to me, it seems as if it's this silent evil, unseen evil that is succeeding at its endeavor to intimidate us into seclusion. And very likely could ruin our entire global economy. Or you could be of the bent where you believe that God has given us this to teach us a lesson. Well, I believe that God is a God of love, and as such would not make us learn a lesson in this way, but I do not ever presume to speak for God. I do know, though, that scriptures state that God can and does bring good out of evil and horrible situations. I guess I see this pandemic as more of a natural consequence for what we've done to our earth and how we've treated one another along the way. But right now I want to take you back about 2,000 years to the night that Jesus was crucified. And his closest followers scattered out of fear. They don't really talk in the Bible much about what happened in that time between Jesus being led off to be crucified and then and then the resurrection. But I can't help but think that they were in that upper room thinking things like, I thought he was going to be our leader. Like, I thought we were going to overthrow the Roman government. Isn't that what you thought? Or maybe they were saying something like, he performed all those miracles. I mean, we saw what he did. Why didn't he save himself? Or maybe they said something like, what did he say again about tearing down the temple and then rebuilding it in 3 days? What did he mean by that? And I can't help but think that the reason that they had scattered out of fear was that they were all thinking, they crucified Jesus. What makes you think they're not going to crucify us? And so here they are, huddled in this upper room, probably not social distancing, most likely drinking out of the same cup. No, but in all seriousness, they were scared, unsure, disoriented, confused, hopeless, afraid for their lives and afraid for their future. Now, I do want to say this first. We heard from the thief on the cross, why don't you save yourself? Okay, I just want to say Jesus didn't come to save himself. That wasn't his purpose. He came to save you and me. All right. But 2 days after Jesus' crucifixion, we read that Mary, of course it's a woman, who is headed to the tomb to further anoint his body so that he could have more of a fitting burial. But when she got there, the stone was rolled away from the tomb's entrance. And so she didn't know what to think. She went running back to get Simon, Peter, and John. They all went back to the tomb then and saw for themselves that the tomb was empty. Now, Mary was still on the outside of the tomb, and she was crying. And she saw someone that looked like a gardener, and she said to him, "Where have you taken Jesus? Tell me where you've taken him. I need to go and to get him." And his response was, "Mary." And at that instant, she knew it was Jesus. Now, it says in the scriptures that Jesus appeared to over or around 500 people after his resurrection. I don't really want to debate this today. That's not the point of this video message. I believe the resurrection accounts. But what I really want you to think about, especially if you're not really so hip or up on this story, is what is the cargo that is being carried in the vehicle that is resurrection? Resurrection not only represents victory over death, but it also says that evil, greed, corruption, selfishness, hurt, pain, all of those things will not have, even a virus, that none of those things will have the final word. It seems like it right now, doesn't it? With this virus and just everything going crazy right now, it feels like those things have the upper hand. I'm pretty sure that's how the disciples felt and why they were so scared after Jesus was so brutally killed. But the story of Easter, my friend, is the story where love triumphs over evil. Good overcomes bad. Right overturns wrong. Maybe especially today, I needed to remember that the worst thing is never the last thing. And maybe you needed to remember that too. I pray that this message has blessed you. Remember that I always put links down in the description part of the video. You just have to hit that little arrow that gives you more information. I put those in there for anyone who would like to dig a little bit deeper into what I've talked about today. If this message has blessed you, you can go ahead and give it a like, and please share it with a friend that you believe could benefit from it as well. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscription button, because not only will it then tell you of new videos that are coming out, it'll help other people see these videos as well, as it moves it up in the YouTube ranking. So I also want to pray not just for our nation, but for the entire world, that we can overcome this virus very quickly. Because I know many, many people who are hurting very deeply from this thing, not just financially, but emotionally as well. So, I pray, Lord, that you would show us your way in how we move forward, and how we live moving forward from this virus. And also, give us your peace to do so. That peace that comes from knowing that our King, our teacher, our leader has overcome all things. Because of the resurrection, evil, greed, selfishness, hurt, and even a virus will not have the last word. Hope this helps you live your best life now, because it ain't no dress rehearsal. Grace and peace.